Welcome to the Gary Dunn Show for October 4th, 2016. I'm your host, Gary Smith, and on today's show, we're going to talk to Coach Dunn about last week's exciting win against Slippery Rock. We're going to look at, there's a little bit of replay wipe there, but nothing major. We're going to look at this upcoming week's opponent, Indiana, and then we're going to take a tour around the PSAC, look at the scores from last week's standings, because we're at that point of the season. We're officially at the midway point of the 2016 season. And Coach, welcome to your show, and for another straight week, you have a big smile on your face. Congratulations on a great win Saturday. And as we were talking a little bit off screen, I've been around the program for about 20 years as a fan and also working with TV and stuff. And that was one of the most exciting wins that I've seen probably in those 20 years.
Yeah, good win. It was exciting for us, exciting for our guys. Felt like it was exciting for the fans that came out and joined us. So we were happy with it. But moving on to the next one.
And the calendar on Saturday turned to October, as we mentioned, pretty much right, starting the middle part of that season. Great day for college football, a lot of excitement, good crowd in the stands on Saturday. Top 25 matchup, California came into the game 24th, Slippery Rock came into the game 9th. And usually, Coach, we talk about, and we're going to definitely talk about it because you put up 52 points this week. The offense was firing all cylinders again. But, just watching it seemed like the defense really set the tone of that game. I know for myself, watching some highlights of Slippery Rock, and I'm not a trained football, it just looked like their offense was very dynamic. And, that first quarter, it seemed like they were running in slow motion quicksand.
Yeah, our defense did a tremendous job, really all day, but really in particular to start the game. Offensively, we were a little bit off in the first half, and our defense really held us in, really held them down. Got a couple big turnovers right before the half to kind of get us rolling offensively, and then I thought we picked it up offensively as the day went on. But hats off to our defense. Those guys are playing with a lot of confidence right now, playing with a lot of speed, being a physical bunch, and really I thought they set the tone on Saturday.
And you mentioned the turnovers. There were 3 turnovers right there, probably in the last 5 minutes of the second quarter. One, Jordan Bowman doing what he continues to do, taking it to the house, and then a key fumble recovering. We're going to see it on the highlights at the goal line to keep points off the board, and then the next possession, an almost pick six. So, that defense, very opportunistic for your team.
Absolutely, and I thought that was the biggest play of the game. We had fumbled a kickoff return and gave Slippery Rock great field position. Luke Smorey did a great job of tackling that guy at about 3 or 4 yard line. And for our defense to get the ball back right away without giving up any points was really the turning point in the game for us. And then, of course, the turnovers, Jordan Bowman did an unbelievable job. Brandon Edwards with another pick and kind of got us momentum going into halftime. And then I thought we responded well after the half.
And that's something that, and you'll see on the highlights again, but just the excitement on the team, all those picks, it seems like, you watch some football games, on Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon, and you'll see half the team sitting, getting coached or just sitting getting breathers. But it seems like every time, the offense is on the field, the defense, after they get, some coaching,
sure,
they're up watching the game. Everyone's invested in those interceptions. You'll see the sideline just erupt, and that's a great thing to see.
Yeah, it is. I think our guys are really pulling for each other on both sides of the ball right now, and both sides really enjoy watching special teams. Our special teams guys had another great week this week against a very explosive Slippery Rock bunch, and thought really we won the special teams battle. But to have that type of excitement on the sidelines and guys cheering for each other, it is special.
And we're finally going to talk about the offense about 4 minutes into the game. Like I said, it's hard to push it back with scoring 52 points, but with the defense doing what they did and keeping Slippery Rock, stymied, allowed your offense to work. And when they get out there and they're running at full speed, they're an amazing sight to see.
Yeah, it was great. Jordan Danders kicked us off and with a big catch, and he's really coming along, and that's going to be big for us. We talked the last couple of weeks about receivers stepping up, and Luke Smorey had stepped up the week before at Seton Hill, and now Jordan Danders had a couple big catches. So it's going to make us harder to defend as we go. Thought we ran the ball well enough to, Slippery Rock's defense is based on stopping the run and outnumbering you in every situation. Nick Grissom did a nice job, and really all of our tailbacks are spitting some runs and getting, to have a running game. We talk about balance with our guys, being able to run and pass, and Saturday that really helped us out. If they'd have been able to turn us into a one-dimension offense and just throwing the ball, it would have been a long day for us. But we had a couple big key runs that kind of kept drives going and changed field position. So it was big, and hopefully we can kind of keep it going.
And in the air, Michael Kier and Gary Brown continue their dynamic connection. Gary Brown setting 2 school records, touchdown receivings and touchdown yards. And seeing the highlights, he's definitely, if he had a Hollywood agent, he'd be getting a top billing because he's in the highlights every week. But just the connection. It seems like, they're reading each other's minds out there right now.
Yeah, and I think the other receivers stepping up are helping that too, because teams can't just focus on Gary. But Gary had another great day. He caught a go ball for a touchdown. He caught a hitch and turned it into, I think, a 60 or 65-yard touchdown. He had a rushing touchdown, had a punt return called back that was for a touchdown. So Gary just being Gary and doing a great job and just loves to compete. And Mike's doing a good job of taking what the defense gives us. Was excited as anything to see him, throw to Tom and throw to Jordan Dandridge for the big touchdown because teams are starting to focus on Gary. So those other guys got to continue to step up. And I thought Luke Smorty had another great game at wide receiver, had some really big catches and made a couple guys miss. So, if we can continue to do that along with run the football, I think we're going to be hard to defend.
And you kind of took the words out of my mouth because, we're sitting around after the game and, yesterday just talking about the game. And, you're looking at the stats and, typically you're seeing, one or two names pop up. But it seems like, on your receiving, you're getting 6, 7 guys, receptions, running backs. I mean, that amount of versatility, that's got to be great because, like you said, if you take one guy off, 2 or 3 are stepping up.
Yeah, and that's the way it's built. And our guys, and Michael is doing a great job of kind of distributing the ball where it should go. And when he's able to do that and other guys are involved, I think it's, we're tough to defend. We talk about being versatile and being multiple, and I think Saturday we did that to a point.
And the offensive line, once again, doing a good job of keeping Michael Kier upright, and the running backs, to allow the running backs also do. And, whenever I was doing the starting lineups for Slippery Rock on Friday when I do the graphics, I mean, that was a veteran front 7 that Slippery Rock brought, and for them to do what they did was just a testament to, them and the coaching you guys do.
Yeah, Coach Durst had those guys ready to go this weekend, and, they had 2 of the premier defensive ends in the league, and then they're strong and big inside. Marcus Martin, a guy that's been an all-league guy the last 2 years, and I think he's the all-time leading sack guy in the PSAC. And he got a couple that was based on some things we did, but he's a great player, and to kind of hold those guys in check and give Mike time to find our receivers down the field was a big key for us.
Well, enough talking about the game. Let's let the people at home see the highlights from Saturday's exciting 52-26 win against the Rock, and then after the break, we're going to look at the film from last year's game against IUP, and then talk about the upcoming Coal Bowl, and once again take a look around the PSAC standings and schedules. You're watching the Gary Dunn Show right here on CUTV.
Kier handing it off to Gary Brown on the end around. Gary Brown dives into the end zone for the California touchdown. As Kier looking to pass, under some pressure, going deep down the field to Gary Brown, and it is going to be intercepted by number 8. Kier with the snap, looking to pass, airing it deep down the field to Dandridge, and it's going to be complete for the touchdown. What a catch by Jordan Dandridge. As it's going to be a handoff again to Shamar Green, and he's going to get in the end zone for the Slippery Rock touchdown. There is no flag on this one, so it'll be returned there by Jimmy Wheeler. Wheeler going up the middle, and he gets taken down hard with the ball out, and Slippery Rock comes up with it. And he is going to go to the 5-yard line. Slippery Rock lost the ball. California has it, so another turn of events here. Looking to pass. Going to be incomplete. Intercepted by California. And he is going to take it all the way back for the touchdown. Who but Jordan Bowman. As a blitz coming here. 3 men going. It's going to be intercepted easily there by number 3, Brendan Edwards. As it's going to be a pass, and it's going to be a touchdown here for California. Easy money, as Tom Green had a little screen pass there. Looking to pass here. Airing it deep down the field. He's got Gary Brown, and it is going to be complete for a touchdown. As that is a high snap here. Patterson's going to have to go back, and the Rock are going to grab it in the end zone. That is a touchdown for the Rock, Dylan. Kier handing off to Grissom. Grissom, it gets into the end zone for the California touchdown. He's going to hand it off here, and he is going to go into the end zone for a touchdown for Slippery Rock. As Brazil, his kick is up with plenty of room. It's good. So California now leading 45-20. It's complete to Gary Brown. Gary Brown's got plenty of room here. Gary Brown has one man to beat. Shimmy is a tackler. Gary Brown is into the end zone.
Exciting Vulcan football is back this fall. September 10th at Cheney. September 17th versus Millersville. September 24th at Seton Hill. October 1st versus Slippery Rock. October 8th versus Indiana. October 15th at Clarion. October 22nd versus Gannon. October 29th at Mercyhurst. November 5th versus Edinburgh. November 12th versus East Stroudsburg. Catch all the action on CUTV and WCAL. CUTV's High School Football Game of the Week. Springdale at Jeff Morgan. Avella at California. Bell Vernon at Ringgold. Greensburg Central Catholic at Charleroi. Waynesburg at Southmoreland. Baldwin at Connellsville. Beth Center at Brownsville. Fraser at Bentwood. Bishop Canavan at Carmichaels. The longest running high school coverage in southwestern PA is on CUTV.
CUTV News Center is California University of Pennsylvania's award-winning student television newscast. Your source for live, local, late-breaking news. Forecasts from the CalU Weather Center. The region's latest entertainment news. Vulcan sports highlights and regional scoreboards. With television news coverage you can't get anywhere else. Watch it live Thursdays on CUTV and on demand. CUTV News Center. Online all the time.
Now it's going to be a handout to Wheeler. He gets into the inside. He's got some room, and he's going to go into the end zone. Touchdown, California. In shotgun, man in motion is Brown. Williams hands out the middle to Temple. Temple breaks three. He gets to the outside. There's no one there. Temple into the end zone. Touchdown, IUP. Missed it. Brazil's kick is up, and this one is good. So Brazil kicks it right through the uprights and makes it 9-7 California with 3:21 to go here in the first quarter. There's some motion. Temple into the end zone, though. It won't matter. There's no flag anyways as IEP goes into the end zone for the touchdown. It's 13-9. Williams gets a snap. Hands out to Temple. He's up the middle, and he's in the end zone. That's the third touchdown of the night for Chris Temple. Now it's going to be a handoff, and the ball is out. Let's see who comes up with it. Looks like California may have it. If they do, this could be big. And it's California ball. Pitch to Franklin. In the end zone. Touchdown, California. And just like that, the Vulcans are back within 5 points. Brazil kicks it away, and it's a short kick because of the wind. And it hit an IUP player. Let's see, California has the ball. Oh my goodness, it's shades of 2012 all over again, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. Harris, back to throw. Into the end zone, and it's intercepted. Oh my goodness. Harris gets a snap. Throws in the end zone. Des Green can't get it.
And welcome back to the Gary Dunn Show for October 4th, 2016. I'm your host, Gary Smith, along with Coach Dunn. And Coach, we looked at the highlights for Saturday, and of course, calendar keeps going. As Coach Brown used to say, it just keeps going and going. I won't do his impersonation because my throat's a little messed up today, but I mean, IEP's the next team on the docket, and we were talking off camera.
Doesn't get any easier.
It doesn't get easier.
Doesn't get any easier. Yeah, they're playing extremely well right now. They're 4-0 as well, and it's going to be a tough test.
And looking at film, we were talking a little bit. I know, well, reading, it seems like, a lot of similarities in some ways. Good offense, hard-nosed defense, and that's what it's been probably in the last 10 to 15 years in the rivalry. I mean, it's like mirror images. I mean, both two teams have been, going at it for supremacy in the PSAC, along with Slippery Rock for about the last 10 years, and that's what a great rivalry is all about. Two teams that are fighting for the same thing.
Yeah, exciting. I think, when us having Slippery Rock and IUP back-to-back is built some excitement on campus, and especially with our guys, because they know what's at stake. Every week in this conference, anybody can get anybody, and I'm sure we'll look at the scores later on and saw some surprising scores there from last week. But, this we talked to our guys, this is a big game because it's the next game. This has no more weight than the previous 4 games. We got to focus on us and be ready to go. But IUP is a really, really good football team. And
we were looking as we were watching the highlights last year. We were kind of talking last year's game. California, if you looked at the drive charts, they spent a lot of time in the red zone or just outside the red zone. And IUP's defense did a lot. And you were saying, that's something that they do. They'll give you yards, but they make it hard to score.
Absolutely, they play great red zone defense and. As a staff, we've been watching it and breaking it down and really, really do a nice job. Really well coached in their scheme. They're going to outnumber you in spots, and they make it tough to get in down there. And we're going to have to be at our best in the red zone. I thought that going into last week's game. I thought Slippery Rock did a really nice job in the red zone, making it difficult to score, and we executed pretty well and had some great effort on some plays. It's going to be no different this week. IUP is a really strong defense. Very athletic. Their linebackers can run. Their secondary can run, and they're very athletic up front. So defensively, they're pretty good. It's going to be a big challenge.
And on the other side of the ball, another dynamic offense coming in. I know in years past, it seems like their offense, at least from an outsider's perspective, has been a little one-dimensional, old-fashioned, but it seems like they've kind of changed it up a little bit and are really moving the ball this year.
Yeah, they've got a very athletic quarterback that's doing a really nice job throwing the football. I guess a year ago he was more of a running-type quarterback, but he has really got great stats this year throwing the football. They've got a really nice tailback that may be leading the conference in rushing, if I'm not mistaken. 2, 3 really good athletic wide receivers to go get the ball and a good offensive line. So it's this will be the best offense that we face. They've put up points every week. It's going to be a tough test for our defense.
And for you, Coach, I mean, you're in the unique position as you played in this rivalry as a player, and now you're coming back a few years later as a head coach and leading the Vulcans. What's the rivalry mean for you? Because, like I said, you're one of probably only a handful of people that can say they've been on both sides of the player and coach.
It is. It's a great rivalry, and I think part of it is we're very familiar. Very similar, recruit a lot of the same kids. They try and recruit to Whitfield like we're going to try and recruit to Whitfield. But it means a lot to the alumni. I couldn't tell you how many texts and how many calls and how many emails I've gotten this week about this game. And we're going to have a big alumni group back. I know a lot of guys that I played with are coming back to this one because it's a night game. It's a little easier to get away from the family at night sometimes. But we're expecting, hopefully, we'll have a big crowd. I know we're going to have a lot of alumni back. I'd love to have the students out to support us. We're going to do a blackout if everyone can wear your black this weekend. But the rivalry is just special because you're so close to that school. You recruit the same players. A lot of our guys went to high school with our players. It's a special rivalry, and we're excited to be a part of it.
And for the players, I mean, how exciting it is to play this game on their lights. Last year we saw it at IUP, and it just seemed like both teams were a little more juice. What is it about the lights?
I just think you don't do it all the time. A lot of our games in this conference are day games, and when you do change it up and have a night game, it brings a little something out with the guys. I think the students are more involved, hopefully, and I think it's just when you change it from a day game to a night game, it gives them more time to think about it all day long when you're watching college football. So hopefully it's going to be exciting.
And I tell you what, for the fans, get your I almost said a bad word there, but get to the stadium because it's going to be a heck of a game. 2 top 25 teams, because we're not going to mention the numbers because last week, taken off guard, but both teams are in the top 25 in the country in the latest national poll. And then obviously, first things first, conference, both teams, the winner of this game will have the inside track to represent the West in the PSAC title game, which, is only about 6 weeks away. Like I said, we're rapidly approaching the dead middle of the season and coming down to the end. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just amazing how fast the season goes.
It seems like we just checked in for camp yesterday, and it is funny how fast it goes because it's the same schedule every week. You know, you play on Saturday, you meet on Sunday, you know, you practice Monday, and you get it rolling. So it's flying by, and we're enjoying it.
And that game will be this Saturday night at Adamson Stadium, 7 o'clock. Wear your black, make noise, cheer on the Vulcans, because it's going to be one heck of a game. And before we kind of give all the information, we're going to take a look at the scoreboards for this past Saturday, first week in October, starting with the PSAC West. And no real surprise in the upper left, maybe by the result, but that Mercyhurst-Gannon game every year.
Rivalry game.
It's amazing.
You know, Mercyhurst did a nice job pulling that one out. You got Edinboro putting up a lot of points. Their new coach is doing a tremendous job up there. You know, they're 4-1, and their only loss is to Indiana. And then you had a big game, Seton Hill at Indiana.
I tell you what,
A
watching,
lot of points on that board right there.
I was keeping up with the play-by-play, and Seton Hill, I mean, they rebounded nicely after the loss to California. And, you know, definitely interesting that Indiana and Slippery Rock both had Seton Hill the week before us. It's
Yeah.
crazy how the schedule works out.
Absolutely.
And then moving over to the PSAC East from this past Saturday, Shippensburg over Lock Haven. Millersville hanging is pretty tough with Bloomsburg, and then East Stroudsburg and Kutztown. Kutztown with a big win. I mean, that was a one I was not expecting to see.
Yeah, that is, and it looks like, you know, Ship and Bloomsburg on that side, both 4-1. Not sure when they play, but that ought to be a good one. And Millersville playing tough. You know, they played Bloomsburg tough, and you get on to that Kutztown-Westchester game. That's interesting to see because Westchester's been a power over there the last few years, and so it looks like that side's just as balanced as us.
And let's take a look. That's a good set. Coach, you're getting the hang of this TV stuff. We're going to segue into the standings first with the PSAC West. As we alluded to, California, Indiana, both 2-0 in the conference, 4-0 overall. And then right behind you have Edinboro, like you said, turning it around. And then Slippery Rock right there, and then Clarion, Mercyhurst, Gannon, and Seton Hill. But that's a tough division. That's a tough conference, let alone just the division of a conference.
I know we talk about it every week, but, you know, Seton Hill goes up and gives Indiana everything they wanted this weekend. Edinboro hung a lot of points up again and kind of got it rolling, and you know, Clarion's doing a nice job. So it's going to be a challenge every week for our guys, and we talk about the focus on us because, you know, I really don't want the focus on everybody else as good as this league is.
Well, let's take a look at the PSAC East now that we've seen the West. Bloomsburg at the top, 2-0. Shippensburg both 2-0, 4-1, and they look like they're on a collision course. You see, I mean, the only team without a win is Lock Haven, but they're capable of picking up a win. Like I said, it's a tough league from top to bottom.
You know, so you got 3 teams over there unbeaten right now. Interesting to see how that's going to shake out. East Stroudsburg and Westchester. We're watching the East Stroudsburg IUP game right now, and boy, they've got an explosive offense. So, you know, a lot of points on that side of the league, I'll tell you.
And let's take a look at the schedule for this week because, like I said, it's a big week here. I'll start with the bottom. We'll do a little reverse. IUP at California, 7 o'clock. That's the nightcap, last game of the day. But there's some other pretty interesting games on the schedule. Gannon at Edinboro, as we said, Edinboro turning around. Gannon trying to rebound from that loss, and that's, you know, a quick, you know, nice backyard rivalry game, about 20 minutes between the two schools.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game there. You got Bloomsburg and Kutztown both undefeated in the East. Is going to be another good game. And Mercyhurst at Slippery Rock at 6 o'clock. So that'll be interesting as well.
Yeah, it's another game that historically, you look up the scores of the past couple of years. You know, the years Slippery Rock has been really good. Mercyhurst has been a thorn in their side, and vice versa. So a lot of good games. If you're a fan of college football, you know, come out early to Adamson Stadium, do a little tailgating, get ready for the game, but keep track of all these games and all the D1 games because, like I said, Coach, we're right in the middle of the season, and every game, you know, is so important. It's more important than the last game because, you know, every team's trying to get in that PSAC championship game and then beyond. I know it's down the stretch, but, you know, got to take care of first things first, but everything's very important.
Week to week. You know, that's what it's funny. That's what I tell my wife. The schedule's the same every week. We eat at the same time. We meet at the same time. Everything's the same. It's like Groundhog Day in that movie. It's what'd you do today? It's Monday. You know, so excited to get it rolling. You know, this should be a big week in the PSAC, and excited to be about it.
And like Coach and I said, get your black gear out and come on out to Adamson Stadium Saturday night. Under the lights, Adamson Stadium. If you can't make it there, shame on you. But if you have a valid excuse, you know, you can watch the CTV broadcast on www.calvulcans.com/watch. And if you're out and about and can't watch it, you shouldn't watch anything while driving anyhow. You can listen to the WCAL radio broadcast online only because of the transmitter being right above the stadium. But you can listen to that. There's a couple different ways you can listen to that online. And also, if those two methods don't work for you, you can also keep up with the live tweets and live stats from Matt Kiefer and his staff. So a lot of different ways to keep involved with Cal football as a fan. But the number one way, coach, is get out there, be loud, because I know when I came out Saturday right before the game to see my folks, and I looked up, and that was a pretty good crowd. And even I was pumped, and I'm just hitting buttons in the back directing.
Absolutely. I know they got great promotions going on this week. They're going to do a student tailgate. I believe AVI has donated some food to feed the students. We're also going to do a blackout where they're going to be giving away black T-shirts to the students. We got the student section kind of started last week, but we need your help. Bring a friend, bring two friends, bring a group. It's going to be a nice night at Adams Stadium under the lights, and students, we'd love to have your support.
And Coach, thanks again, and hopefully next week we'll talk again, and keep the smiles on your face, and good luck to you and your team this week against IUP in the Coal Bowl.
Well, I appreciate it and appreciate everything you guys do for us and following us around in the show and the broadcast and the highlights. You guys, our guys loved the rivalry clip last week. It was special, so appreciate everything you guys do for us.
Yeah, that was all courtesy of Matt Hagee, Sports Information Director or grad assistant for SID. So I may just promoted Matt. He's in the control room right now, so I'll make some phone calls later. But Coach, good luck.
I'm anxious to see what he comes up with this week. So.
He's definitely working on something. But, Coach, good luck,
Great.
and hope to see everyone out dressed in black on Saturday. You've been watching The Gary Dunn Show right here on CUTV.